This is very, very significant. I'm not so sure that we, with our historical perspective, can grasp how significant this was for those people. Because at the time of Jesus, there was a general feeling that the Holy Spirit had departed from Israel. God had not spoken through a prophet for several hundred years. His glory was no longer shining in the temple. The Jews would look back with fond nostalgia, and then they'd look forward to the coming of Messiah with expectant hope. When Messiah comes, he'll bring the Spirit. The Spirit will be back. Now Mark leaps over the nativity, cuts straight to the action, and presents Jesus' baptism as the great fulfillment of all these Old Testament hopes. In the first verse, Mark introduces Jesus as Christ, the Son of God, and then immediately makes two radical claims. First of all, he declares that the silence is over. The silence since the age of Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, now it's over. God has spoken from heaven. And we have his heavenly words recorded in Mark 1, verse 11, where it says, "Then a voice came from heaven, 'You are my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased.'" What an amazing way to shatter the silence. Of course, John the Baptist was the prophet, wasn't he? He came to bring and prepare the way for the Messiah. But here we have a clear, open heaven experience. When God says, yes, the silence is really over. This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased. And we've seen how that this verse, this statement of the Father, combines Psalm 2, verse 7, "You are my begotten Son. You are my Son, this day I've begotten you," with 2 Samuel 7:14, where it's speaking about the Son again. And it takes those verses about the Son and combines them with the prophecy concerning the servant of the Lord. Isaiah 42, verse 1, "Behold my servant whom I uphold, my elect one in whom my soul delights. I have put my Spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice to the Gentiles." And we have seen also how that this servant who appears in the prophecies of Isaiah finds the climax in chapter 53, that he is the messianic ruler, the suffering servant. Next, Mark declares that the drought of the Spirit is over. The silence is broken and the drought has ended. God has poured out his Holy Spirit to equip this messianic servant for the unique mission that God has given him. It's no wonder that in Mark's chapter 1, verse 15, the first words of Jesus are, "The time is fulfilled." So we see the Son is the one who uniquely bears the Spirit. He is the Christ. He is the anointed one. Now, throughout his gospel, Mark emphasizes that the Son bears the Spirit during his earthly ministry, and that the Son uniquely bears the Spirit in his days on the earth. But it's only in chapter 13, verse 11, where Jesus is preparing his disciples for the end times, that Mark reveals that the Spirit is going to equip and enable somebody else other than the Son. And that passage there is where Jesus is prophesying about the persecution, and he says, "But when they arrest you and deliver you up, do not worry beforehand or premeditate what you will speak, but whatever is given to you in that hour, speak that, for it is not you who speak, but the Holy Spirit."